Good morning and welcome to The Point Online. Our service will be starting shortly, but first I wanted to let you know how to make your experience even better. If you are on phone, tablet, or computer, you can access the chat and interact throughout the service, so go ahead and say good morning. Another way to enhance your experience is to use our message notes online. In the description of this stream, you will find a link to the online message notes. We understand that some of you may not be able to access all of these things at once, so this is what we recommend. Watch on your TV if you can, and then use a secondary device like a phone or a tablet to access the features like message notes and the chat. If you can't do this, don't worry, you'll still be able to stream and enjoy. I'll have some more information for you later, but now grab your coffee and get comfortable. We'll begin in just a few seconds.
Good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to The Point. Let us all stand together and worship.
God, I'm on my knees again. God, I need you. Oh God, I need you. Walking down these desert roads, water for my thirsty soul. I need you. Oh God, I need you. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears. Oh, it's like holy water on my skin. Dead man walking, slave to sin. I want to know about being born again. I need you. Oh God, I need you. So take me to the riverside, take me under baptized. I need you. Oh God, I need you. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears. Oh, it's like holy water on my skin. I don't wanna abuse your grace. God, I need it every day.
All right, real quick before we continue with the rest of our worship service, I have a few important things to tell you. We want to stay more connected than we already are, so take a moment and take a selfie with your family, your dog, your cat, your coffee, and then check in at the Point GA and hashtag stay at home. To all of our parents, here's how you can find the kids ministry lessons. Go to thepointga.com, select the menu, go to our ministries, and you'll be able to find everything you need. There are many ways to worship, and one of those ways is with our giving. Right now, we have 2 ways to give. The first is online giving. You can go to thepointga.com, select online giving, fill out your information, and click next. The second is text to give. You can text the number on the screen. Don't worry, that number is also in the description of this stream and on our website at thepointga.com. Simply text the number and follow the instructions they send. And here's Pastor Carl with the announcements.
Woo! Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so great to be with you today. Woo! And for all the women out there, I know the rest of the world is out there celebrating Mother's Day. What are they celebrating? Mother's Day. And I know you had a mother. I had a mother. But I think we need to widen that day out and honor all women. Because you know when God created the world, he said it's good, it's good, it's good. But when he got done creating a woman, what did he say? It's very good. So we're going to honor all women today. But, you know, whether you're a mother, you're not a mother, whether you want to be a mother, you can't be, or you are one, you didn't want to be. I think there comes a point in everybody's life where if you have children, you wonder, why did I do that? But here we go. So we're going to do that. What I want you to do now, you've probably got your smartphone or your other device out or whatever. Go ahead, turn on your location feature if you haven't already, and navigate to the Facebook Point GA page and check in. And I think, what is it this month? That's hashtag give what? Vitamins. All right, give vitamins. All right, we've given 44 children you will never meet in your life around the world have gotten life-saving vitamins. You know, they don't have diets that produce that give them all these things. And by getting the vitamins, they're going to grow up healthier than they would have if you didn't do this. And so it's absolutely awesome. Let's see what we can do for all churches that are participating in calls. Over 3,038 students or children are getting vitamins. That's absolutely awesome. Keep pressing on. We want to do that. We can do 200 children we can take care of this month. We want to make sure we do that. So we're moving on. We want to make sure that everybody understands that we're still in an online worship experience, and we will be here for a while. Your leadership is working through all the different things. Seems like every other day they come out with a new requirement. And right now, we just can't see how it's any better for us to meet in person than it would be if we just kept doing this. We are looking to do an FM transmitter in a parking lot kind of thing. We're looking at all those options, but just for right now, this is what we have. You can schedule the pavilion and meet with your community group or whatever. We do have Zoom available. If you would like to meet with your community group over Zoom, we've got all of those things. And so today we want to just celebrate who God is and what God has done. So would you pray with me before we begin to worship? Almighty God, we thank you for this very, very, very special day in which we honor the crowning jewel of your creation, because, Lord, after the woman, you rested. Woo-hoo! I know it must have been difficult for you to create something so amazing. So as we step into this day, help each one of us, male or female, honor a woman somewhere in our life. And Lord, sometimes those women have passed on. They've gone on into eternity. And Lord, we can still honor them by appreciating and remembering what they taught us or what they did for us or how they loved us. And we want to do that today, Lord. And let all the women that we honor today, all the thank yous and all the I love yous that go out today and all the memories bring you praise and glory. We're so thankful that you've allowed us to worship online. And Lord, I know that other people are worshiping online. And actually, people are checking out 2 and 3 and 4 different churches. And wow, that's great. We're getting more of your word into us. And that's super awesome, Lord. We're just so, you can bring good out of anything. So today we're asking for your Holy Spirit's power and presence to rest upon us. Here in the worship center, but also in our homes, parks, outside, porches, wherever we're at, watching this live stream, or if we watch it later on, Lord, wherever we are, would your Holy Spirit's presence just descend upon us and fill us and stir within us a desire to please you, to draw closer to you, and to bring you glory. Thank you, God, for every expression that we are able to provide to be the church. You have just blessed us so many ways, Lord. We want to pass that on. Now may all that we think, say, and do in this next hour bring you praise and glory. In Jesus' holy and precious name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Now, before I let the band get kicked off again, I want to remind you that you get as much out of this service as you will put into it. So if you just sit there like a bump on a log, like we're a movie, you're going to walk away not very filled. If you start participating and you repeat back and you sing along, it doesn't matter if you sing off key or out of tune. That's the only way I know how to sing, right? And so just participate. Remember, it's an audience of one that matters. God is looking at you. Where is your heart this very morning? And are you going to give it to him? God bless you. I'll see you in just a couple songs of the message.
the Savior's love through the storm. Christ alone, cornerstone, weak made strong in the Savior's love through the storm. He is Lord, Lord of all. There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden where another died for me. There is another in the fire. All my dead left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. And should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. I know I'll never be alone. There is another in the fire standing next to me. There is another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding when power set me free, there is a grave that holds nobody. Now the power that lives in me, there is another in the fire. Ah, there is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. Oh, and I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between where sin. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison was David. There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come with me in the space. Standing next to me, there'll be another in the water holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding how good you've been to me, I'll count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll win. And I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to him. I can hear the roar
Are you ready? Man, my blood's pumping. I hope you're excited. We're in week number 5. We got one more week to go after this in our Running on Empty series. And I just want to remember, do you remember about running on empty? I mean, people run on empty for all kinds of reasons and in all kinds of ways. We run on empty stomachs. Well, not me very often. We run on empty stomachs. We run on empty tanks. Matter of fact, I've got that little orange light on my gas tank this morning. We run on empty bank accounts. We run on empty relationships. And then we wonder, why is life so hard? Why is life so hard? And women in general, now don't be shooting me because, the women in general, you run on an empty more than any person or anything else on the planet. Folks, why? Why do women run on empty so much more than men do? Well, I think this is just Carl now. I think it's because it's in your nature. How do I get that biblically? How do I get that? I want to take you back to the story of Genesis, to the story of creation. Listen, and hang in there. Don't throw anything at your TV just yet. Hang in there. Listen. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Listen to what God said. It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. See, God created women to be a helpmate. To be a what? A helpmate. But that's the way it started out, but that's not the way it's ended up, is it? It hasn't stayed that way. Certainly, women are so, say it with me now, women are so much more than helpmates. Women, you help your parents, you help your spouse, you help your significant other, you help your children, you help your friends, you help your friends' children, you help your coworkers, you help extended family, you help causes. You help the least, the last, the lost, and the lonely. You do all that. Folks, if there is some form of helping and caring going on in the world, here's something you could guarantee. There are women involved in it. That's it. There's just nowhere is that more evident in the church. If there were not women in the church, there would be no church. Women, you give and give and give and give until you're running on empty. But today is different. Today, whether you are a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. Today and every day after this, we're going to give you some help. You don't have to run on empty anymore. So here's kind of where we're going. Everyone, can you say that with me? Everyone can do something to help a woman out. Say that with the whole thing now. Everyone can do something to help a woman out. That is so true. Let's just, before we get really deep into it, let's go ahead and remind ourselves why we're doing a Running on Empty series in the first place. Folks, it basically, week after week after week, what we're doing is we're writing on our hearts and in our minds the message that we don't need to run on empty, that there's a specific thing we need to run on, and emptiness is not it. So we're going to say our tagline right now. You ready? Ready? God emptied the tomb and filled my spirit. That's the whole gist of this message. See, running on empty is not good unless the empty you're running on is the empty tomb. And why can you run on an empty tomb? Because what emptied the tomb is God's power. God's power of resurrection. It raised Jesus Christ from death to life, and it can do the same thing for you. So if you're going to run on empty anything, you make sure it's the empty tomb, the power of the resurrection. So we're going to go through, I think there was a movie out there like this, What Women Want or something like that. There was a movie. I think I watched it. It was kind of crazy. This is not what women want. This is what women need. Can you say it with me? What women need and how we all can help. That's what we're going to talk about today. But I got to give you a disclaimer before you all get mad at me. There is no such thing as a cookie cutter woman. And what do I mean by that? Every woman is an individual, and they're all different. So some of the things that we're going to talk about today will apply to a woman in your life, and some of them absolutely not. So be careful how you apply what you're about to learn. Make sure it's applicable to the woman or women that you're talking about. See, God could have made every woman the same. Just imagine it. I mean, you're God. You get a chance to make a helpmate for Adam. He could have made a robot, a dog. He could have made anything. He made a woman, but he could have said, you know what? Here's the Mark 1 Mod 0 woman. They're all the same size, same shape, same temperament, same skills, same abilities. What kind of world would we be in if God made every woman the same? It would be a pretty bleak world, wouldn't it? Because the way I can check this, I've checked around with my guy friends, we are pretty aesthetically challenged. I mean, we just don't get the whole color thing and the scheme thing. And why all these pillows on the bed? You know, if it was just guys, there would be one pillow on the bed. That's it, period. But, you know, women bring such beauty and color into the world because they are just so much more connected to those things. It's neither right nor wrong. It just is. It is just is that way. So, folks, we're moving on. We got to understand these things. I say that so that you will hear what I'm about to say next. You'll hear this. A woman needs, and we're going to go through 5 things. How many things? 5 things. A woman needs wisdom. What? Wisdom in their going and their doing. Can you say that with me? They need wisdom in her going and her doing. Now, I got to give a little personal story here to you today as I've begun to experience different things in my life. There's something going around here. Is this work from home phenomena. Some people are calling it the COVID-19 pandemic, but COVID-19 is not impacting me nearly as much as the work at home phenomena is. See, the women that are closest to me, that's one daughter and one wife, just to be clear, right? They're both working from home, and I'm not working from home, and so that causes a few differences. And one of the differences that caused is we figured out now that we view the home differently. How do you view your home? And this has nothing to do with marital status or how many people are in your home. This is just how do you view your home? Because now that my daughter and my wife are both working from home, I made a comment, you know, sometimes you got to be careful what you say, that I thought working from home would be very difficult. And my wife piped up and said, you know, she said, hey, I don't find it difficult at all. I can always find things to do. And I said, and here's where we figured out the difference. The difference is I view our home as a place to stop work and rest. And my wife views home as a place to start work and continue work. How about you? How do you view your home? How do you see your home in all of this mess? Folks, I'm not sure there is such a thing as a cultural norm about the household anymore. And I don't want you to get the idea that I'm a slacker. And I do my share of the household chores, the cooking and the cleaning, and well, not the laundry. I've been banned for laundry, but you know, whatever it is, you work it out. But this work from home phenomena has brought this difference in how we view the home up. And folks, it's shown a spotlight on it. And I just want to remind all the ladies, all the women out there of any age, you are not the Energizer Bunny. God only made one. There is always, how often? Always going to be someone or something else you can clean, organize, educate, or try and fix. There's always going to be something else out there. At some point, you're going to have to stop. You'd have to do what? Stop and take care of you, or there won't be any you to take care of. You're going to have to, folks, and that takes wisdom in your going and doing. You can go. You know how I know you do too much? Let me ask you this question, just to the women. Do you take naps during the day? Do you know statistics show that on average, a little over a third of the people in the world take naps? And statistically, about twice as many men as women take naps. As a matter of fact, women say if they take a nap during the day, it interferes with their sleep at night. And so that's just the way it is. So what happens is women go. May not be true of you, but it's true of a lot of women. And then when they stop, and if they sit down, they stay still too long, you know what happens? They fall asleep. That's how you know that you need wisdom in your going and you're doing. Let's go to Proverbs 15. 22. Proverbs 15, 22. And see what it says. It says this. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they seek. Ladies, get yourself some advisors in your going and your doing. For those of you, now we're talking, I'm talking not just men to women, I'm talking women to women as well. And so for those of you who may be selected to be an advisor to a woman or to women, or for those of you who think you're a self-appointed advisor to a woman or women, it's important that you know what wisdom is. So here is what wisdom is. Wisdom is knowing, you got that? Wisdom is having something to say and knowing when not to say it. Has your mouth ever gotten you in trouble? Oh, yes, it has. So wisdom is having something to say and knowing that now is not the right time, the right place, or the right person to say it, especially when you're talking to women about their going and their doing. So you want to keep that in mind here. Wisdom comes to us in the Bible. I'm going to take you to the book of James. This is James 1:5. And James 1:5 is going to teach us this. James 1:5 says, not James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So amazing. Step in. You probably prayed for wisdom for yourself, haven't you? Lord, I need wisdom in this, I need wisdom. But have you ever stopped to pray for wisdom for someone else? Every one of us can pray for the women that are in our lives. We can pray that they would have wisdom in their going and in their doing. So you want to make sure that you're praying for the women in your life. But beware, beware, beware. Here's a prayer disclaimer. Prayer changes things. And the things prayer changes most often is the prayer. It's you. When you start praying, you'll be the one that changes. When you start praying for wisdom for someone else to have wisdom in their going and their doing, God may turn around and make you the instrument of how God gives them that wisdom. You may take something off their plate that they were doing. That's important. So pray for wisdom. Pray for wisdom for yourself. Pray for wisdom in the women in your life. Pray for that. Pray specifically that women would receive the peace that God offers in making decisions about their going and doing. Here's another thing that women also need. They need opportunity to grow. Can you say that with me? They need opportunity to grow. Physically, intellectually, emotionally, and especially spiritually. Proverbs 31:30. Proverbs 31:30 teaches us this. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. What does that mean when you're picking up on it? See, we live in a fallen, broken, and cursed world. We do. That places pressure on women to focus on outward appearances. Therefore, a woman should hear, a woman what? She should hear that she is beautiful and loved many times a day by the wise people closest to her. Why? How do I know that's true, that every woman is beautiful? And I'm not cheapening it when you say a woman is beautiful at all. See, beauty is not a shape. Beauty is not a color or a style. Beauty is very specifically something else. This is 1 Peter 3. 1 Peter 3 and 3 and 4. Listen. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. Who do you want to be beautiful for? A magazine? You know, are you trying to achieve some body shape, body style, or fashion style of someone who has a lot more money, and they have this team of people to help them look that way, and they only look that way for a few moments in front of a camera? Have you seen some of these stars when they don't have their makeup on? They look really normal, don't they? So we're thinking of providing women with the opportunity to grow necessitates Patience. It necessitates what? Patience. Patience. Now, patience is not something that I recommend you pray for. Because when God answers your prayer and he gives you patience, how are you going to know you got it? Unless God also gives you something to exercise those patience for. So, providing women with the opportunity to grow necessitates patience. Be patient. This is Ephesians 4:2. Ephesians 4:2. New Living Translation, and we'll do the second and the third part of the verse. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Because of what? Because of your love. True love, I got this from Tom Holliday. True love is not reciprocal. We think of love as a 50-50 deal. I'll love you if you love me. No, true love is not reciprocal. True love is sacrificial. Can you say that with me? True love is sacrificial. Matthew 7:12 teaches us this. Do to others what you would have them do to you. So making this change in your home is not going to be easy. It's not going to happen quickly. So be patient with her. As she gets some wisdom in her going and doing, you've probably gotten into some habits that are used to her doing that, whether it's your friend or your spouse or your daughter, your sister, your mother, whatever. You're gonna have to have some patience here as all these things get readjusted. I have 2 rules that if you follow them will help you provide the best opportunity. Provide what? The best opportunity for the women in your life to grow. Here's rule number 1. Because I love, fill in the blank of the women that are closest to you. Connie and Tiffany and Tiffany. Right? You're going to fill in the blank with whoever it is. I will be patient with her or them and strive to eliminate her or their need to be patient with me even when I'm feeling irritated. Did you catch that last part? I am going to be patient with them and I am going to strive to eliminate the need for her or them to be patient with me. Don't miss that second part. Now, that's rule number 1. Let's go on to rule number 2 here. Okay? Here's what rule number 2 says. Whenever I am irritated, frustrated, angry, etc., I will refer to and implement rule number 1. That's just the way it goes. If you think you're losing it, you're just about to just go off, you complain, you're about to do something, go back to rule number 1, which says, because I, what? Because I love her, I will be patient with her, and don't forget that second part, and I will strive to eliminate her need to be patient with me, even if I'm feeling irritated. What I do is when I'm talking to a couple in my office, I talk about the timeout system. And when things escalate, somebody says something, we take it wrong, and then we fire back, and they fire back, and pretty soon we're really having, and hurtful things are coming out, and somebody just needs to take time out. So you know what? I can't talk about this without being angry, so we're gonna not talk about this right now, but I promise that within the next 24 hours, here's when we can talk about it after work tomorrow, we can talk about it before bed tonight, we can talk about it when we get up in the morning. You can talk about it any time, but you have to agree to that time. Take a time out before you say something that is gonna be long lasting. So practice rule number 1 often, while minimizing your need for rule number 2. Here's the third thing. A woman needs merriment in her life. Can you say it with me? A woman needs merriment in her life. She needs laughter, if you will. Proverbs 17:22. Proverbs 17:22 teaches us this. This is from the New King James Version. A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. I was looking around here, and I found an article by one of those piled higher and deeper, PhD people, and her name is Jean Segal. And she gave several positive outcomes from laughter, and I just picked a few of them to share with you today. Here's one. Laughter relaxes the whole body. It's pretty hard to be angry with somebody if you just laughed with them. And studies have shown that if you laughed, you had a good, hearty laugh, the effects of that laugh will keep you relaxed for about 45 minutes. Laughter also decreases your stress hormones. Laughter also triggers the release of those endorphins. Those are the good chemicals that provide you those good feelings. Laughter lightens anger's heavy load. Nothing diffuses anger or conflict faster than when two people can laugh together. And a lot of people think, well, I'm just not a funny person. You don't have to be a comedian to make a woman laugh. Matter of fact, they don't want a clown. You can just invite her to laugh with you at the absurd, right, or ironic things that you find in the world. And here, just from my own personal experience, you may be the one that is absurd or ironic at times. So if you can laugh at yourself and invite her to laugh at yourself too, that works out as well. Now, stepping forward, one more thing. Here's the fourth thing that a woman needs. She needs appreciation. She needs what? Appreciation for who she is and what she does. Proverbs 31. Right, we did 31:30. We're going to do 31:31. Says this: honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Where was the city gate? The city gate was the center of activity. This is where official documents were executed. Land was transferred. So basically, it's a public thing. Now, not every woman likes to be praised publicly, but you need to figure out how the women or woman in your life needs to be praised or likes to be praised, and you need to do that for her. Appreciate what she does. Pay attention to it. When she says something, remember it. Ask her about it later. Comment on it. Folks, it's important that we do these things. So how can I help you do that? You need to become a student. You need to do what? Become a student of the woman or the women in your life. And then you'll always have plenty to show appreciation for. What I'm trying to say is, do not take her for granted. See, women are a class that you never graduate from. I'm sure that some women would think that men are that way too. Let me give you an example. Something that happened a few months back in my life. You see, a person, doesn't matter if it's male or female, you're not the same person today that you were yesterday, and that's not the same person that you're going to be tomorrow. All life experiences change us a little bit, and so the woman that you're trying to honor, you're trying to show respect, trying to show appreciation, they're going to change over time, and you need to be aware of that change. In other words, don't fall asleep at the wheel of your relationship. So I want to just give you an example where I didn't do quite so good in my own life. We were having pizza, and I had brought home the only kind of pizza there is. I brought home pepperoni and mushroom, and some people eat other types of pizza, and I don't know why they do that. But anyway, and when I brought it home, I noticed that my daughter had went to the refrigerator, and she'd gotten a jar of banana peppers out of the refrigerator. I didn't even know we had banana peppers in the house. I don't even know what a banana pepper is. I just know I don't think I like it. I've never had one. But she started picking the mushrooms off of the pizza and putting banana peppers on it. And the next thing I know, my wife is following suit. This is just wrong. It's just wrong. Parents are supposed to learn from the children. The children are supposed to learn. Here's this woman that I have been married to for a long time. I have known my wife, and I'm giving away my age here. I have known her for 49 years, and I hope to know her another 49 years. She doesn't want to live quite that long, but I'm kind of enjoying it. But the idea here is, all these years that we've been together, we've always gotten pepperoni and mushroom pizza. The good kind, right? And all of a sudden, now she's eating yuck pizza. So you know what I learned out of all this? I learned that nowadays when I go pick up pizza to bring it home, I don't bring home just one pizza. I bring home two. One real pizza, one yucky one. Because somehow, I don't know if she just discovered she liked banana peppers, or if that's something that she had realized that she'd always liked and she just gave to me, and our daughter stepping out and breaking from family tradition gave her the freedom to do it herself. I don't know. But the idea here is you have to be a student of the woman or women in your life. So we're going to move on to the next one here, and that is a new perspective on life. I want to bring you to a verse. This is John 10:10 from the New King James Version. John 10:10. Okay, we're going to do the fourth and the fifth parts of that verse. It says, I, and just so you'll know it's Jesus Christ talking, I have come that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly. John 10:10. That whole verse is pretty huge here. So help her gain this new perspective that she needs in her life. Everybody needs a new perspective on life. Help her gain this new perspective by creating space and time for her to do so, to her to experience this and enjoy this abundant life. Now, everybody, my abundant life may not look like your abundant life. You got to figure out what an abundant life looks like for her, and then provide her that opportunity to grow into it and appreciate her as she's trying to learn those things. This will take some planning. It's going to take some planning and effort on your part to routinely give her a break. I'm just going to use one example you're going to give her a break from. It's called decision making. Do you realize that women are the ultimate decision makers, multitaskers in the world? I mean, they make decisions for the career. They make decisions for their family. They make decisions for their friend, for the household chores. They make decisions for meals and ministry. You name it. Women make decisions on it every day. But yet they'll tell you they don't make decisions. But they do. They absolutely do. And the women are women that you're close to. It's like, have you ever seen this video out here? I haven't shown it in quite a few years. Just imagine there's a platform, and there's this woman up on that platform, and she's got like 6 or 8 foot poles. And she takes a regular dinner plate, and she sets it on top of one of the poles, and she spins it, right? So that pole's standing straight up vertically, and there's a spinning plate on top of it. She goes down the line, and she gets all 8 poles and all 8 plates spinning. Well, by the time she gets to number 8, what's happened to the pole number 1? Well, it's slowed down and is starting to wobble, and the plate's about to fall, so she has to go back. She has to spin it some more. And she goes up. That's what a woman's life is like. Back and forth and back. You know, my wife told me I can always find something to do. You know, when I come home, I'm not looking for anything to do. When I walk in, I'm looking if there's a bunch of stuff piled in my chair to sit down with. I move it, set it somewhere else, and I sit down anywhere. A woman looks at that same pile. She goes, I got to put this away. I got to put it where it goes, right? No, not me. I'm sure a lot of guys are that same way. So she can relieve some stress now and then by taking over and making a decision for her. But remember, there's no cookie cutter women. She may not want you to do that. But sometimes you could just take one of the routine things she's doing, figure out which one it is. It could be your best friend that you're helping. It could be a sister, a mother. It doesn't matter who it is. Just figure out what they're doing routinely and then take something off her plate. I'm going to give you an example of decision making for you here, right? You could go in here. It's nice to be asked, what do you want to eat, isn't it? But isn't that the hardest question in the world? Not so much today because of this work from home phenomena, or some people call it COVID-19 pandemic. There's just not as many restaurants open as there used to be. Although I see just a plethora of Mexican restaurants are open. You know, chicken places, not so much. But Mexican restaurants, well, every one of them is doing like takeout, curbside. People are putting pictures up of their Mexican food. So the idea here is, you know, sometimes you just need to interrupt that pattern. And one of the things you can do if the woman is the one that's planning meals for you or planning meals for other people, is you can just surprise her. And you can call her up and say, you know what? You do not have to worry about tomorrow or the next days. I don't know how long you have meals planned out. I like to plan them out by a week. That is not the way our household runs. I have recognized that I need to suppress my need to have a menu for the one who actually does the meal planning and go with the way she likes it. And so when I was reading and studying for this, it came across that thing. It says, you know what? Just take the decision for what you're going to eat one night off her plate and let her know you're doing it. So I did. I sent her Connie a text on Friday and said, hey, I got supper tonight. You don't have to do anything. I got it. She said, okay. A couple hours later, I got a text back. Do you want me to get something out of the freezer? And she said, do you want to get something out of the freezer, or are you going to buy something out? I mean, like she had to ask, right? Of course I'm going to buy something out. But in my defense, I bought it out so I could bring it home and cook it, right? You could tell I haven't been in a store in a long time, and I certainly haven't grocery shopped in a long time, because for what I spent on that one meal, she could have fed us for a week. Yeah, I didn't know stuff was that expensive. It was kind of crazy. I went up and down the stores, the aisle here. There was only how many? One package of chicken, of fresh chicken in the whole store. I had to change what I was going to eat because we were going to have chicken. I don't like chicken, but she likes chicken. I was going to do chicken. We had to have beef. God was looking out for me, I guess. So the idea here is, remember, there are no cookie cutter women. But I got home that night. I had the pan going on the stove, some things warming in the oven. I had the grill going. I'd picked up some other takeout. It was awesome. And she didn't have to do it. That's one of the things you can do for the women in your life, is give them a new perspective. It doesn't matter what they do at that time that you gave them back, that you just relieved that one night. They may sit down and watch TV. They may take a nap. They may scroll through Facebook. Whatever it does, if it builds them up inside, it's worth it, right? It's worth it. You're giving back to them. And that's what we're doing today, is we're honoring the women in our life for the contribution they make. You're interrupting the normal pattern. Take a real hard look at the women, whether it's your best friend, your coworker, a family member, a spouse, a significant other. What is it like? What is life like from their perspective? And how can you interrupt that? How can you give them a brighter perspective on life? Folks, I want to give you one last scripture before we go. This is John 15, verses 12 and 13. John 15, verses 12 and 13. Listen to this. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So we're thinking about this passage and what it means to us. You may not, and most likely will never be called upon to give up your physical life for someone else. Some of us might, but most of us will not. But even bigger than giving up your life, that's like a one-time act of sacrifice. I mean, it's a big one. I think I know what's on the other side of death, but there's a lot of unknown there. So it's a big deal. But I think a bigger sacrifice is, rather than making that one-time sacrifice, what if instead of dying, what if you decided to live for that person? What if you decided, because you love that person, you were not to give up your life, but you're going to give of your life, so others, namely women, would not have to run on empty any longer. That's what it is today. God bless you. God bless you. Let's say our tagline one more time before we close. You ready? God emptied the tomb and filled my spirit. One more time, really loud. God emptied the tomb and filled my spirit. Let's go over our next steps now. You ready? Okay. The first one is to memorize this verse, Proverbs 31:30. Okay, 31:30. You want to memorize that one? The first next step is an easy step. It is to pray for, you fill in the blank, to have wisdom in her going and doing. Help each woman to make that choice on her own with God's guidance. The next step is to have patience with whoever that is, so that I will not have and don't cause her to need it with me. So have patience with and don't cause her to need to have patience with me. Then the other step, whichever one is applicable to you, is you want to become a student of. Remember, we're not the same people today as we were tomorrow, or as we will be tomorrow. So always, always, always be a student. And that'll give you plenty of things to do to appreciate her for. And then if you need one more step, drive it home, sit in your living room, discuss the list of people, right? Discuss the ways that would like, whatever her name is, discuss the ways she would like me to help create space or time for her to get a new perspective on life. All right, we're about to share our love feast. Right? So if I could get somebody to come on up with the love feast stuff. All right. All right. As we're getting ready to do this, I want to go over again the difference between Holy Communion and a love feast. The Holy Communion is what we do here in the worship center. And it's when we're all together. When we're gathered in smaller groups, we have something we call a love feast. And that love feast means that you're gathered probably around a table or in your living room or whatever, and you've got some crackers or a cookie or maybe it's your entire meal. This is what the disciples did with Jesus. They ate an entire meal. So this is very biblical that what we're doing. And so another difference between Holy Communion and the love feast is that we constantly lift up praises. We lift up celebrations. And so what I want you to do is around your home, if you're alone, I'm going to give you one praise, and that'll work for you. But the idea is to be thinking about something you can praise God for. I got an email earlier this week. A family had lost their home. It was destroyed by fire. And the community was coming together trying to outfit them to put things in their home. And it got down to the end of it, and they just didn't have a washer and dryer. And so the email came in, and I was really busy, and I didn't think much about it. And then it just kept nagging at me. I know a guy. Do you know a guy? I know a guy who does use washers and dryers. And he is always, every time I've called him, he has always went above and beyond to give a good deal and to follow it up with maintenance and delivery and all those kind of things for every family we've tried to help. So, let me just call him and see if he's got anything. And sure enough, he had something. And I connected the person from Lee County Family Connections and him. And you know what? There's a family out there today that has a washer and dryer because God kept stirring my soul. I mean, how many people did you send that email to? Hundreds. But nobody had responded except you and I, except the point. And so you never know. When something keeps coming back to your mind, that may be God saying, hey, I'm calling on you to be my hands, you to be my feet. Right? And we actually didn't have to do anything except connect one resource with a need in the community. Can you do that? Do you know somebody who has a need? We have some resources. Or maybe you have some resources that you could make available to us, and we know people who have need. That's what being the church is all about, especially in this time. So as you have your water or soda or coffee or whatever you have, and you have something that you would be eating at your home today, we're going to celebrate that. We're going to celebrate who Jesus is and what he has done and how he wants us to live. Basically, by remembering that when Jesus lifted up bread, at every meal he did this. It wasn't just that final meal. He gave thanks to God in heaven above. And he said, take and eat this bread to his disciples because it is my body which is given for you. As often as you eat it, do so in remembrance of me. And then when the supper was over, of course, he lifted up that final cup. He lifted every supper he did this. He gave thanks to God in heaven above, and he looked at his disciples. He said, take and drink from this cup, for it is my blood which is given for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. My blood is what the new covenant is going to be forged in. So as often as you drink from a cup, do so in remembrance of me. And that's what we want to do right now. The body of Jesus was given for you. And the blood of Jesus was shed for you. Now the band's going to get ready to play now and put their love feast stuff down. I want to tell you we got a surprising thing coming for you on May 24th. When? May 24th. I know that's the week we're going to be starting to be in between this series and the next series. And I have communicated with Archie. Don't you miss Archie? Yes. Amen. And well, Archie is going to come and bring the word for us on May 24th. I am so excited. And, it's like we want to line the streets and wave and Archie goes by because he just brings such a different flavor and energy to us for the message. And I'm looking forward. He's been working really hard to provide and feed families. And so he's a little tired, but he's making it. And he told me this morning that he would be glad to bring the message for us on May 24th. So we're so excited about that. All right. We have some other opportunities that we'll be sharing with you. I think the band's about ready now. All right. So God bless you. And I'll be back to pray us out in just a minute. Thought we weren't keep. As you step forward today from your living room, your back porch, wherever it is, as you step forward today, know that God's Holy Spirit fills you and gives you power. Today, would you pause? Whether you're male or female, would you just pause and give thanks to God for the women that have touched your lives? And then would you try to show appreciation to some women that are still here with you? Because they are beautiful, they are worthy, and God said it was very good. Go out and be the church. We'll see you right back here online next week with The Point. In Jesus' name, amen.